call meeting to order. But Andrea, don't stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, to the republic which stands one nation. Silence for Mr. Miracle. I'd like to observe a moment of silence. All right, down. Administrator's report.
I can go first if you want.
Go ahead, Chelsea.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so I'm gonna start. I hope you can hear me. So in the Cape, we've had a really busy but a really good start to the school year. I think the thing that we are most excited about and that is causing the most work is the official start of our pre-K programs. Our enrollment in the Cape is continuing to climb, and we are going to need to add another aide to the room because we are at 19 students. So it's been a very popular program, and the kids in that room are awesome. They are really doing a good job settling into the routine. And, you know, we do have a couple of students that are struggling with the length of a full day, but we have been able to accommodate that. You know, I have one little guy that comes down to the office every afternoon, either the office or the nurse's office for a nap. But overall, the kids in that room are awesome, and we love having them in Cape Vincent. And, you know, to kind of springboard off of that, with the addition of pre-K plus class sizes, enrollment is way up across our buildings. So in all of the classrooms, we have 18 to 25 students in every classroom. So we have very healthy enrollment in the Cape. AIS for both ELA and math is in place and has started. There is access for all grade levels to receive AIS support, and we use data from the end of last school year as well as data that incoming students may have come with to determine which students to provide that for. I want to give a little shout out because the teachers and staff in the Cape are amazing, and I'm really grateful for their experience because stretching students to longer days this year has presented some challenges, and you know, the experience of the teachers has been amazing in that. With COVID in the community, our nurse has been a little bit more, she's used a more conservative approach with students that are absent with cold symptoms, but we have had some positive cases in the building and some quarantines. And unfortunately, I think that we need to anticipate and err on the side of caution to ensure safety for everyone. We are working on the bus timing at dismissal still, but we're starting to get in a groove with that. And then just to kind of have on your radar, we are planning for a dedication ceremony to officially change over to Bashaw Elementary on October 7th. And we're in the planning stages of planning for a fire safety day and hopefully an outdoor Halloween parade experience this year. So that is the updates from the Cape. Thank you.
Chelsea?
Yes.
Do you have kids in the pre-K that are still in diapers now?
Oh, I couldn't hear the question. Sorry.
Do you have any kids in the pre-K that are still in diapers?
I do not. We have had some students that have accidents, but that is very typical of that age and grade level. But we anticipated having 2 enter in diapers, and they conquered potty training this summer because they were so excited to come to school.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll jump in and give the Gardino updates next, if that's okay. Gardino, a lot of the same things that Mrs. Noli reviewed. Teachers have done a phenomenal job of getting back into the routines, getting students prepared and ready for the longer day. Support staff has also been phenomenal. We couldn't have done it without everybody pitching in and doing what needed to be done. The two huge things that I just want to accentuate is pre-K. Having pre-K kiddos in the building is just delightful. And seeing them trot down the hallway and even just the growth that they have made in 11 short days is unbelievable. Less and less tears. We're now to the point that drop off is so much easier because the kids separate and they literally jump out of the car or get out of the car seats and turn around and wave to mom and dad or whoever dropped them off and say, have a great day. And they trot right into the building. So it's really been super. And the other big changes is arrival and dismissal. The first couple days were a little rough, but we made a few tweaks to both systems and they're running really, really well now, knock on wood. And I'm really proud of everybody pitching in and coming up with some ideas of what would work best. And we've implemented those changes and things are going much better. So it's a lot of fun. Everybody's glad to be back in school. Friday comes along and everybody's tired and ready for a couple days rest, but they come back with smiles on. I know, and it's really cool because seeing kids walk down the hallway, you can tell they're smiling, whether they're wearing a mask or not, and they are wearing a mask, but their eyes sparkle. And it's just really cool to see that. So everything is going really well and a lot of ditto information as to what Mrs. Nolly said. Thank you.
Lisa, I've got the same question for you. Do you have any there with diapers on?
We do not. They're all potty trained, and as she said, occasionally there are accidents, especially like nap time or things like that. And you know, we do have a handful of kiddos who actually do fall asleep at rest time in the afternoon because they're exhausted. And they might wake up and have had an accident, things like that, but nothing nothing unusual. Anything else? So in our classrooms, it's wonderful having them there. Thanks.
Don't worry, everyone, I pulled over. So things are going well at the middle school and high school. We are still, tweaking schedules, to be honest with you. People have been wonderful. They've been flexible and creative. But, we'll continue to tweak a few schedules here and there, probably into the, end of this week, beginning of next week. We've had a number of students move into the district with some high needs. So, I asked for your support and approval of some aid appointments, and then those are just, really because we have some students who require a little additional adult support in the classrooms. Athletics are going well. Tonight alone, I think, we had 3 different events going on campus. It was pretty cool to see cross country, soccer, and swimming going on tonight. Mr. Hammond has been a huge blessing. He's done a great job, I would say, of getting to know our students, supporting them in the cafeteria with minor, student management things. But he's been a great resource and support in the building. And let's congratulate him because he passed his bus driver's test today. We have an additional bus driver on staff, jack of all trades. So congratulations to him. We celebrated with our seniors. Was it 2 weeks ago? We went on the rafting trip. It was a lot of fun. Yes, I fell out of the raft. Mr. Hammond did not. Let's see what else. We have homecoming coming up next week. It's going to be, not our traditional homecoming, but it's going to be like a festival outside with yard games on the turf and, music and dancing and food outside, hay bales, probably, pumpkins, but trying to have something COVID friendly, but that also brings the school community together. So, am I missing anything, Mr. Hammond?
I don't think so. Sounds good. For my part, I've been trying to work the prevention side as much as possible and be a presence in the hallways and in the classrooms, and as Mrs. Lumber said, in the cafeteria. Started off by trying to attend as many practices and continue to try to get to as many games as I can, and generally try to build as many positive relationships and be seen in a positive light as much as we can arrange to do. As of today, there's been 21 discipline referrals, mostly minor stuff. A lot of tardies. The bulk of it, truthfully, is tardies, and the bulk of them are just one-time offenses. So far in this short term, a simple meeting and a hey, heads up, we're paying attention to this has sufficed. And I think that largely covers the basis. So.
Question. Regarding Delaney's schedule, I don't know if it's all the kids' classes or what, but she has lunch every other day.
Mhm.
Started out snapped and didn't come. She begged me not to. But is every person that takes SUPA chemistry have lunch every other day?
Probably. I don't know, off the top of my head without looking, but likely it has to do with when the lab was scheduled or when the course was scheduled. Unfortunately, sometimes those courses there's only one section that's offered, and it might only fit at that time. It's a choice. The kids know going in typically that can happen. They're afforded an opportunity. They can eat. Their teachers are really great about letting them, eat in class, or they have a study hall, at another point. But it happens. I can't hear if
Last week. Setbacks with DEC. So, so that's thank you. So, our construction engine, really small, just like so we had some holes in the ground, do some soil testing to make sure that there was soil at the site. Actually, there was a spot that was contaminated that see basically just did it. And if and when we ever tear that up again, it's kind of understand that contaminated soil came from. Mr. Benshaw actually reached out to and Rick, sorry. Said it's a gas leak. Just stop using the tank, stop using the pump. Understand that. Actually be up and running this week. Project. Actually started Monday night. So this night, bus garage, Clayton. All lights in the hallways. Flash work is getting done. So all exterior lighting is going to turn. finance, and property. Sarah, can you hear me now? No, you can't hear me?
I can barely hear what's being said.
Go ahead and talk here, see if it's any better. Is that any better, Sarah?
Yeah, with you both, definitely.
Way over here. Is it any better?
I can hear that a little bit. It's faint, but that's clearer and it's not breaking up now.
I'll just be really loud. Change your voice.
I know you can do that.
Business, finance, and property, a motion for 1 through 4. Second. Bruce. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Carries. Personnel. Are there any numbers that anyone would like to pull?
I'd like 1, 2, and 3 pulled, please.
Twenty-one. I get a motion for 4 through 19 and number 22. Aaron? Second. Any other discussion on those? Yep, I just had a question, so. 4. Is that substitute teacher aides? Sure. Then number 16, just change position. Maybe she said no. Just wanted to know if it's practical. Score and. Did last year, and he also did modified doctor, so that's a modified level, so. It's more fun. My thing is, why we can't. It's not, it's made us in contract. All in favor? Opposed?
Mrs. Riddock,
Yes,
do you have your letter?
I do. Yes.
Read the letter, because I thought it might be more appropriate. It went to you.
No, I think we all.
Did y'all get it? An email?
I got that one.
Yeah, okay. That's.
The letter from Susan Lorraine? Yes. You want me to read it now? Okay. Dear Thousand Island Central School Board of Education members, to begin, thank you for your countless hours of work and commitment to the education of the youth in our community. This is from Susan Lorraine, by the way. There have been many faculty and staff who have selflessly, sorry, it's in cursive. You don't read cursive very often.
Big words.
give and mentor to the students at Thousand Island Central School District. Sadly, one of those mentors passed away after a battle with pancreatic cancer. Walt Gardzell taught physical education for 37 years at Gardeno Elementary. He impacted an entire generation of youth. He led by example, developed a rapport that channeled positive behavior, coached athletes to play with much skill and integrity. My own children hold Mr. Gardzell in the highest esteem. His lessons of loyalty, grit, and hard work are part of their character, of which I am thankful. And my kids are not alone. There are many that feel the same. In honor of Walt's long-standing professional career and positive impact on the Thousand Island Central School District and students, I would like to propose that the gymnasium at Gardeno Elementary be dedicated to the Walter Gardzell Gymnasium with a sign outside the gym and his name printed on the gym floor. Lastly, I would be happy to organize a petition if that is what's needed to be done to honor this extraordinary man's accomplishments and dedication to the TI School District. I look forward to hearing from your response and to this tribute in honor of Walt Gardzell. Thank you, Susan Lorraine. So she left it in my mailbox and wanted me to present it to everybody else on behalf of Walt. And it is paralleling the Bashaw Elementary dedication, so it's a lot of dedication right now. But I agree, Walt was an amazing gym teacher, and I know him personally. I know him as a neighbor. I know him as a colleague of my husband's, and I know him as a teacher to my children, and I know him as a community member, and he's all the things Susan Lorraine described. Really just a positive person who left everyone better after the encounter of him, however long or short it was. So I guess I wanted to present that and see what anyone else thought about Susan's proposal.
To me, Susan and I are in the same book, but not on the same page.
How so?
I was gonna come tonight, let people know that this meeting, I thought that I'd like to make it the Gardzell Athletic Complex here at the high school. He coached baseball, he coached softball, he coached football. All the sports we have out here, this whole thing. I don't think in one school district or anybody, there will ever be anybody more deserving of it. He was the first baseball coach here. I don't know how many years he did all of them. I don't know. I didn't want to surprise anybody with it. I wanted people to think about it, maybe come back. I didn't want to make it a motion this meeting. I wanted people to talk to people and come back knowing I was going to do it next meeting. I just think it would be awesome to have it in the Walt Gardzell Athletic Complex.
I agree. I think it should be up for discussion and consideration and not made motion on this meeting at all. Just something to think about and talk to community members. Interestingly, the thought, I was discussing it with Rob, who worked with Walt, and he says that he thought maybe naming the Olympics or something related to the Olympics after him would be appropriate, because he was such a huge proponent of the Olympics. And it's the Olympics are so fun for the kids. We haven't had them, unfortunately, in a year or two. And it's just a real unique activity every year that I think the students really look forward to. I mean, when they get back into it. So he was relating to the Olympics as something Mr. Gardzell completely made an impression on. Did he start them? Lisa, do we know that? He had a lot to do.
I don't know if he started them, but I know he had a lot to do with them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think my 2 cents worth is Walt Gardzell was an amazing man, and he not only touched the lives and made a difference in the elementary kids' lives, but K through 12, the young adults that he coached and mentored, or just kids in the community that he knew from their elementary years, and he was such a mentor for them. An amazing guy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I also talked to a teacher, and I'm not opposed to any of these things that have been mentioned. I also had a fifth grade award as a possibility. I also had Fun of Fitness Day as a tribute for possibility. Do feeling it's really fresh, really new. You know, like I said, I've had a lot of great teachers. I think we should think carefully. Coaches in our district. Like Walt Gardzell didn't really have an effect on my life till I was an adult. I'm trying to get a teaching job. He absolutely mentored me, and he was a help to me. See us do something rash or really quick. Next meeting, open up for discussion or ideas. As far as an idea for the field dedication, or a gym dedication, for Olympics dedication, with a little more detail. But I do think it's definitely wise to at least wait until the next meeting. Give the family, I think, a little time to grieve, get past the initial impact of losing a guy like that in your family. About dedicating something. Still pretty proud.
I think spring time thing. Show anything just throw it. So I wouldn't sit for discussion. Like I chew on it, this is the so many teachers in this district, many years, ours. I will be here for at the end of this term. I don't get it. Not that I want, but can't be dedicating everything that should die. Why didn't we do it when paying a some spec or whatever or everything? It's tired of this happening. And dedicating teachers. How many of we have? We're gonna dedicate to Tommy. He's here for over 7 years. Dedicate there. I am not against the Special Olympics. I think that works. Next day, special. Well, they're special to us, so what's the big deal? Okay? I'm even hearing now. Dedicated to that shot, which I was very surprised at. It's done, I mean, I still would vote for that. Absolutely. It's just too many people for a dedication. We can't do everything. You're gonna start dedicating. That's man my state. Help my daughter with pitching. Great man. Still is a great man as far as I'm concerned.
Think about it and discuss again. It's true. Okay.
Mrs. Lombard, I have graduation date on here, June 18th or June 25th. I assume we're in the same situation and it's time to bring it up earlier this year rather than waiting longer into the year. We let families know.
I'm having trouble hearing you, but I think you're asking why a consideration to move the date up.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, we are in a similar situation to last year, this past year. The idea of our, with the way the region schedule is put out, it, we're looking at almost 2 weeks that our seniors would essentially not be in school potentially, waiting for graduation. Typically, we don't have students who are needing any regencies to graduate, especially with the way with the exemptions and everything have happened. But um, I just worry about that period of time if we aren't keeping our students busy, that the party starts just a little bit too early, and I worry about our students not making it to graduation, quite frankly. So moving it up 1 week allows us to have that week full of fun, where we keep them busy with the baccalaureate, the picnic, let's see here, the banquet, awards night, and then, graduation on Saturday. So it's just my, my thoughts. And um, I, I've had some people that share a many people share a similar feeling. A couple, have said, no, it's tradition, we should keep it late. But
Yeah, it's worked out well. Actually, last year. It's right now it's special. The other thing I would say is, Chelsea mentioned COVID cases, probably bears mentioning too. This week, we saw quite a few. It seemed like quite a few, I guess probably district. They were exposures that happened outside of school. Again, to this point, we've seen zero transmission in school. To that fact, we have had no positive cases in the districts among our students. And yeah, exactly. Knock on wood is right. In probably a week, maybe longer than that now. Because it was the first 4 days we had them. We had one on Monday. So yeah, 8 days. We had, because of the safety protocols we have in place, we've had very, very few. Very few. Things that we see are going to happen because of the folks. So it's the best we can do. We got to have students riding the bus, and we have been very, very fortunate. West County, I know it's in a different spot than we are, but they're not following the exact same.
Recommendations by committee on special education. Motion. Discussion on those or questions about those? All in favor? Opposed? So, quick vote.
soccer. It's on TV. Seeing
Oh, yeah, that was
a game or was it a script?
10-team scrimmage.
All right, so that's not really. Okay, that was my first impression. Question, I don't.
Hope so, but schools. Our uniforms, remember, we got Shane both cycle, so there should be absolutely nothing. So there shouldn't be anything. I mean, if they're practice, that's one thing. I mean, I'll check this.
The executive session.